So, everybody, how are you? I have one person today, Leandro.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
you're very important.
This
So
cheers me
today we
up.
have
That
we have
cheers me
Vlad
up.
and Meg. We have Vlad and Meg, and they're going to tell their story in just a second. But I know them from the church that I go to in Sao Paulo called Igreja Batista de Água Branca, and we met there. And I think we met each other some years ago too.
Yeah,
Before,
10 years ago, yeah.
yeah, a couple days ago. So I'm going to let them tell their story, and then we'll go ahead and get started with any questions that Leandro and I can create to develop more conversation and learn more about Australia.
Sure.
All right. So first of all, good day, mates. This is official Australian greeting.
In Jersey.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
This is the flag. So this is the jersey that Vlad has.
Yeah, actually the jersey looks like Brazilian one, like pretty much same color.
Yellow and
Yeah.
green.
Yeah, I thought it was Brazilian.
But that's a kangaroo and an emu.
Emu, yeah.
That is
Yeah, it's a
two Australian symbols.
Cool.
Yeah. And good day is the way that they greet each other anytime during the day.
Yeah,
So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever is good day.
Okay,
Good day, mate.
I think
So
in
overall, it's a good day, right?
yeah, something like that. Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
Something
I
like
thought
that.
this word mate was originated in UK, but it's also used in Australia, right?
It is.
Yeah, a lot.
It's used in Australia a lot. It's really common. It's really common.
Everything is
Very interesting.
Classmates, workmates,
soulmate.
housemates, flatmates.
Homemade.
Everything mate.
I really like to check the differences between English variations, right? It's very interesting. It actually catch my attention too much. No, but it's very good. It's very good to have you here, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So tell about your experience, guys, that you had in Australia.
Let me start.
I'll start. Okay. First of all, I wanted to go to Australia since 2011, and I started searching and having quotes and organizing myself to go one day. It was a plan, but I didn't have actually a specific date, and everything worked together for us to go in 2016. So during this time, I met Vlad and I convinced him to come with me.
She dragged me.
Actually, yeah, I told him that I had this expectation to spend some time there to learn English. Was my main goal, to go to learn English. Because I was working full-time for many years in Brazil. My job was requiring me to speak in English. I was trying to, for many times I have enrolled in schools to start learning, and I had to stop because I was working too much. I think it's a reality that many Brazilians have. So you work too much and then you don't have time to actually study English. So in my mind was like, if I don't leave the country, if I don't immerse in the culture and go to another country, I will never learn. So this was in my mind, it was a decision, but I was waiting for the right time. But then I met Vlad, we started dating, and the right time came. We were together. So we had that tough conversation. I had to ask him, well, I thought that I would need to make a decision, go to Australia or continue with Vlad. And thanks God, he accepted my invitation and he went to Australia with me. Yeah. And I live for you now to continue.
The plan was like to go and stay there for 7 months. But I didn't have any English by the time, so it was very hard to learn. And I think the hardest thing for someone who is not English speaker, like to learn some language and they are not talking Portuguese, they are talking English. Like whatever you're gonna learn, all explanation comes in English. So that's a little trick. But after 6 months, we're like we had improved a lot, but was still like, okay, so our English is still, if you wanna be like a professional like that can speak in English in your work day,
Workplace, yeah.
workplace, that wasn't good enough. So we decided to stay a little longer, and that was the
But
beginning of the journey.
I have a comprehension, the same comprehension that you had, guys, that always there is something missing, right? When we are learning a language, and we have like we start to consider to get to know the other culture, you know, close and you know actually live the culture, right?
Yeah, it helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But the thing is, when you start to learn and you have no choice, so you're gonna speak it. So there is no shame. So there is no, and it's good when you're also in a culture that they like when you're asked them, hey, how can I say that or that? What does that means? Like what that word means? What
Yeah.
so they are usually very helpful. So
Yeah.
it was learning was kind of fun
Yeah, it
somehow.
wasn't easy, but
Yeah,
we had very good people around us that helped. We decided at the very beginning, we knew that we would need to be with the Brazilian community because this is what helps you to start your life in another country. However, you decide not to stay with them all the time because we wanted to immerse really and learn. So we engaged in a community over there. As Bruce was talking about church here, that you attend church here, we started attending an Australian church over there, which was really tough because we couldn't really understand what they were saying at the beginning, especially the ones with the very strong Australian accent.
yeah. Elderly people,
Elderly
so
people especially.
they got very strong
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah. But luckily they were a very international community. So in that specific church, they have more than 25 nationalities.
Wow.
Involved. So lots of Chinese people, Asians in general, Chinese, Indonesian,
African.
What about other
Malaysian.
Brazilians?
Huh?
That we were the first.
There are Brazilians everywhere, right?
Yeah, Brazilians everywhere, but not in the church.
We were the first one there.
Really?
It was interesting. They didn't know any Brazilian, so for them it was like something new. And lots of other nationalities like British people, people from New Zealand, which is super common because they are super close. But English as a second language, I would say half of the church or even more people had
international people.
Were international. So they had something in system to help international people. So you went to church, there was the message over there, and they had some piece of paper for you to follow, so you know what they are talking about. So it helped a lot at the beginning. We
also decided to leave the first month. We went in to live in a homestay with an Australian family, which was very, very good.
We made so many mistakes.
Lucky, right?
We said so many wrong words. It helped.
But they are like willing to help, which was kind of
that's good.
They had to repeat themselves many times. They come with Google Translator. And images show us what they were talking about.
See, this is an elephant here. This is a dog.
That's
this is a dog. The book is
Yeah.
on the table.
Yes, kind of.
But that's the thing. So they help us with the language, and we brought them some Brazilian
Yes.
style, like they love Brazilian, which
They
is
love Brazilian
good.
Oh,
food
really?
and
Yeah.
our jokes and our
Did you prepare any rice and beans for them?
We did once like a feijoada, and they tried
Right.
they tried to replicate that, and they didn't get that right, but we kind of
yeah, we just relevate.
we didn't say that wasn't right, so we didn't want to hurt their
What
feelings.
happened with the Australian food, especially meats, they tend to put sugar or honey
Everywhere.
to prepare meats. So for our taste is a bit stranger. So when you are eating barbecue, for example, barbecue is another chapter. It's something horrible that they have there. But if they are preparing,
Horrible.
I don't horrible.
Yeah.
If they're preparing chicken, for example, in a barbecue, they have a very sweet sauce. So it's not really tasty for us. So with the feijoada, they did the same. So I think they put some really, really sweet in the feijoada. And
Sweet?
wasn't
Oh
part
my
wasn't nice.
Yeah, I can tell. We went to learn English in a university over there, Bond University. It's one of the
Biggest
top
universities.
universities over there, and so it was very like we are studying from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So it was a very long day,
Monday to
studying
Friday.
pretty much all day long. Yeah.
Grammar and everything.
And so we usually we bring our lunch and food, and I think on the first or second week they say, hey, Wednesday you don't need to bring your food. Will be provide some
Yeah.
like some uni student, they will prepare a barbecue, and like, all right, yeah, beautiful. So we were there, and there was a big queue, like
Huge.
hundred of people lining up to get the barbecue, and we could see the smoke come out of there, like, wow, that looking great. So as we are getting close to the barbecue, and like, oh, that's weird, that doesn't look right.
Yeah, lots of loaf bread.
Was loaf bread and sausage, that's all.
Only that.
And barbecue.
And everybody
Oh my
was
God.
waiting for that, huh? They were all waiting for that.
They were super excited for that, and for us was
Yeah.
like, where is the barbecue?
For them was a party, and
For the
for
God's sake.
for us was like, oh my goodness, I regret I didn't bring my food.
Yeah, pretty much that. It's that square piece of bread
Yeah.
and one sausage in the middle, and that's it. They are super happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This-
very totally different, right?
Yeah, our
Yeah.
beginning.
That's good. Very interesting. So, did you guys have any expectation or stereotype that Australian people have had, and when you arrived there, you thought it differently? You thought that it's not as you thought, you know?
Some expectation.
Yeah, so a stereotype that you think, oh, Australian is like that or like this. And when you arrive at that, it's totally different. If it happened or not.
Well, we think you had that image of Crocodilo Dundee since we are kids. I think the same way that people expect to see snakes here in São Paulo, running on the streets, which is not real.
And all the girls are naked running around in the jungle.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that you dance samba every day in our bikinis and things like that. So I think we kind of have that. We heard a lot about the wildlife So animals everywhere. So I think the same image that people create about being in Brazil because of Amazonia and Pantanal and places like that, I think everybody creates with Australia as well, crocodiles and things like that. The truth is they do have a lot of animals and wildlife, but it's not like in big cities. You don't see a kangaroo crossing the road, in big cities.
I think
But in certain towns you see.
Yeah, when we arrived here on this apartment like 3 weeks ago, we got here.
Yeah.
I think it was the first time in like 8 years that I didn't think about check if there was a snake in the toilet. I'm like, oh, finally, I don't need to worry about that anymore. That was a thing. Like, doesn't matter if you're in a big city, because the wildlife, it's very, they don't kill animals, like they try to preserve.
But you don't see a snake in the big city. But this is the point. You see right after. You see it close.
Very close, yeah.
Because Australia is too big and people live on the coast, most of people live on the coast. So the big cities are on the coast, but as you come to inner Australia a little bit, to the hinterland a little bit, so you don't need to really travel many kilometers. So everything is really green. You see trees everywhere. It's less houses everywhere, and then you start seeing all those things. So there are news all the time about families that faced a snake in the garden. Spiders you can see in the big city. You can see everywhere big spiders. So every house has big windows, but with a screen, so we don't have animals or insects coming inside of your house, right? So every window, every door, that is a screen, so we don't have problems with animals going inside, right?
Yeah. But
It's
also like I think America is quite have similar situations, because they also have to protect their pets, because they may be attacked by other animals. I don't see that much in Brazil, right? I think the pets here can live in a more comfortable way. So it's very interesting. Do you think it's something related to animal preservation or to nature?
They take it super serious, right?
We see a lot of people, like if you get a spider or even a snake inside the house, they call someone that is prepared to lead it. They don't kill it. They put that.
The specialist goes there, take it, and put in the wild.
Yeah.
They don't.
And for those people that have pets, for example, and they have to keep the pets inside the house all the time.
No, they go a lot outside with the pets.
Yeah.
They go a lot, but all the pets have a chip, a tag.
Yeah.
Their name on it. They are registered. And you don't see pets on the streets alone at all. There is a big penalty if you do something like that.
Apart from some place that you can release the pet, like the dog, or on the beach, some place you can have them out of the leash, but most of the time they must have them on leash.
On leash,
So you are back in Brazil, and now you can see caramel dogs here in the streets. Caramel. It's become the symbol of Brazil. So everywhere there is a caramel dog. But okay, guys, it was pretty good, the experience. But there is a very interesting question in the chat box that.
So I think Bruce was about visa, right? So in Australia they take it super serious. First of all, you have different types of visa, but the most common is the tourist visa. So you go there just to enjoy, and you cannot work. You just go to really enjoy and make tourism. And I think this is one of the most common. The second one is the student visa. This is the visa that we got when you went there. So we got a student visa to go there, and the student visa gives you, allows you to work, in our time was 20 hours a week. Now it's 24, if I don't mistake, they changed it. They changed a lot, the rules, but yeah, so we went there to study English. At the same time, you had to pay our bills, so it's hard to pay in dollar when we had money in real. So we had to make some money there, and we started working in different kinds of jobs, everything. But we had the limit of working 20 hours a week.
But even for a student, there was some conditions, like you need to show them that you have on your home country, or in your
homeland.
Yeah, that you have some funds that even if you don't get a job, if you don't want to get a job over there, you can pay your bills, you can survive there. You're not gonna be a homeless people on the street. So they make sure. So you need to show them that you have. If you don't have money, you need to have someone that
to sponsor
you, like someone money that will patrocinate your time over there. Like, and it was like, I don't remember, a week was, it would be something like right now, something around let's say $1,000 a week, something like that. You need to show them. So the length of your stay, let's say you're gonna be there for 6 months, you need to show you have week the money to pay
all the period that we are there.
Let's say $6,000 on your bank account, something like that.
You need to show that you can pay your bills, because they don't want to have poverty over there, people living on the streets or things like that. So the student visa is a common one, and then you can have the work visa, which allows you to work full-time. So after a couple of years, we got the work visa. Since 2021, we got the work visa, and both of us were allowed to work full-time. And then when you went there, both of us, we went with individual visas. And then when we decide to stay, after the 7 months, we decide to stay longer, we had to renew the visa. So I started studying. So for the 7 months, we were studying English, both of us. But you have the condition, if you go as a couple, one of them doesn't need to apply for the visa. One of you apply for the visa, the other one is your dependent. So I started studying leadership in management, and Vlad was my dependent. He was working full-time, it was okay for him. And after 2 years, we decided to stay again. So we renew our visa again, and then Vlad started studying. And then I was dependent on him until 2021, when we got a sponsored visa on my job. So we stayed until 2 months ago.
If you have, the sponsor works like that. If you have a company that want to get you on board, like want you to work for them, they will apply for that work visa for you, and they will sponsor you. So, but they need to show the government that they are not taking the opportunity for any Australian. So they need to advertise the position and let people come and apply for the job as well. So you're gonna be
competing
with other people, even if you have the job offer.
So it's really hard to get a visa in Australia, and they make it even harder.
They are making it harder.
Because the fees more expensive now. What happened to Australia is they need workers, right? So usually they need more workers. They don't have workers enough for the country to grow. So they open the doors.
What kind of workers?
They need nurses a lot. So in health area, they need a lot.
A lot of.
There was a time that they needed lots of accountings. Now they don't need anymore.
No, that's
Childcare, there was a time also that they need a lot. Now they don't need.
Dog
What
sitter.
happened?
Dog sitter, they need.
They need what?
Dogs, for those people that take care of dogs, dog sitter.
Dog.
Yeah, dogs.
I don't know if they have like a profession like that. I really don't know. I really don't have that information. Sorry.
And what about IT? Something related.
It's huge.
still,
Lots
yeah.
of opportunities for IT. They
know-
need people
I know a lot of Brazilians
that
of
are
that
working.
IT community, and the IT community, the Brazilian community in Australia, like the
It's
IT,
strong.
they are very organized. They have a Facebook group. They have a lot of WhatsApp groups, and they help each other a lot. Like
They do workshops every week. And
I was attending every week. Like they do, let's say, some softwares workshop, or talking about how to get a job over there, or
in that
get
area.
prepared. Yeah. So the IT community, it's very strong, because Australians, it's funny, but they are that's what the Brazilians said about the IT professional, the Australian. They don't really care about when developing a software, like doing all those steps, like documentation, and they are like, that's all right. So they don't do really properly. So the Brazilians like, they get crazy when they work together. Like, my goodness.
Yeah.
So
Really?
Brazilians are very good on that. So they
Yeah.
get job easy. Yeah. And
But
they are good jobs, actually.
But what happened is, because now the country is in a house crisis, right? They are really struggling to find houses for everybody, and it's really expensive at the moment.
That's
The
the
rent
same
price
thing.
went-
The same thing was said last night about Ireland, and also about the Netherlands. You know,
Mhm.
it's really interesting, this phenomena, basically, that's happening around the world. That
Yeah, Ireland is the same, I heard.
Yeah.
So the rent is super expensive.
yeah,
But that after COVID, after the pandemic,
Became
yeah,
worse.
that got worse.
Yeah, what happened in Australia, for example, in the city that we were living, it's a tourist city, right? So we weren't living in Sydney, we were living more for the north. It's like south of Bahia, you know, if you think about the map.
More relaxed.
It's a very tourist place, sunny, very nice. So when the pandemic hit, Australia closed the borders between the states, so people couldn't cross to other states.
wow.
So people from the south
Yeah.
that live in the cold weather, they couldn't go to the north to enjoy the nice weather. So during the pandemic, everybody learned how to work online, remote, right? So when the borders opened, everybody from the south just migrate to the north. So our city got super, super full.
Yeah.
So when we arrived there was 500,000 people living on the Gold Coast, the city where we lived. When we left, was 720,000. 700, yeah.
And 20,000, yeah. It was like
So
pretty much
increased 1/3.
20.
It's a lot. So a lot of people migrate from the south, also because they open the doors for migration. Lots of students came after the pandemic. They suffered a lot during the pandemic because everybody left the country and couldn't return because they closed the border. So it was crazy. So now they are closing again. They are making difficult again for people to go there. So the
Because
visa
of
is
what?
expensive. Because of the rent prices. So people, we don't have houses enough, and
also there are two different political views about migration over there. So there are a group that they are called Little Australia, and there is the other group that they call the Big Australia. What means is like they're a huge country like Brazil, but they got 24 million people right now. Like it's kind of a greater São Paulo, pretty much. It's spread all around, so it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
So one of those groups, so the Big Australia, they want to get like more population like quick, which is not so good. So the Little Australia, they want to no, we can't have that, and they are experiencing that right now because they get so many people in, but they couldn't build that many houses
for everybody.
For example, if the universe that we were studying English at the beginning, they built a lot of students accommodation, like apartment, to receive people. If they the university now, they can't have international students unless they build new accommodation. So that's the rules.
Yeah. I want to just point something before we reply to all the questions here, Bruce. Vlad mentioned something about the IT and that the way that Australians build or code the programs and everything. They are really different from us in the way that they face jobs or work. It's really different. So especially here in São Paulo or Rio, we work to the bone. We work too hard, right? We work overtime. We don't stop, and sometimes we work during the weekend. We take work home and then keep working after 9 p.m. and you are still working. Australian doesn't think this way. So what they do, usually, not everybody works full time. Some people works like 4 days a week. Some people works from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then they go home because they have kids to look after. Oh. So they face the job in a different way. They have different kind of contracts or job agreements. So here, usually for Brazilians, we are like, or you're working or you're not working. In Australia, you can work as a casual contract. You can work as a part-time contract. You can work as a full-time contract.
It's very flexible.
Yeah, and many people like to work part-time in different hours, like 30 hours, 25 hours. So they really value time with the family.
Quality of life, right?
Yeah, quality of life is something really important for them. And they really value, especially in our city that we're living, the nature. So some people, they just wake up 4 a.m. and go to surf, and they have a shower and go to work, you know? So they live more in the day than in the night. So they prefer the day because they enjoy the beaches and everything. So they go to surf and then they go to work, or they leave work at 3 p.m. sometimes and go cycling or, you know, whatever, or pick up kids at school and then spend time with kids. So they have a quality time in family. So I think what Vlad was saying about the IT and people writing codes and everything, they are not really concerned about some details. Work for them is just a way of paying the bills. You know, they don't study.
It's
like
it's very cultural. Like you see young fellas, like they go like, if they are working a part-time job and they want to have just give me 3 days a week. I don't want to work 4 days a week. If you ask them, I was working as a supermarket market manager, so it was hard to get people to work because they don't want to work that many days. So 3 days, like, no,
maximum
that's
3 days.
That's maximum. Don't put me.
That's too much.
Yeah, that's.
So the shifts were crazy because people were like, for the managers and coordinators to
it's very
organize the
I
job.
didn't know that. It's a good place to go. Yeah, good place.
But the thing is, if you get a job, even working 3 days a week, it's enough.
You can pay your bills.
You can pay your bills.
Okay,
Like
enough.
it's always a good pay.
But I think it's very interesting, this mindset that they have.
Yeah,
You know, to valorize this quality life.
But that's the seat we were living in, like, because it's like north side, it's kind
tourist.
of a tourist place. It's not a, I think it's different if you go to Melbourne or Sydney, big cities, like it's gonna be a little.
They work a bit harder.
Yeah.
But even that, they value time with family.
They work long hours. Yeah.
They don't longer hours, but not overtime.
No.
Like they don't stay.
Yeah, I remember.
They don't work on the weekends if the job doesn't.
The
require.
first job I worked was a furniture store, and I remember the day we had like to go for a few hours, extra hours, and the owner, he came to me and said, "Hey, sorry for the long day." He was apologizing, like he was like,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Like
my
that.
God. Here in Brazil, like if you don't work overtime, so
Yes, you are out.
it's kind of required, you know?
That's it.
Yeah.
So we experienced this in Brazil when we were here.
Yeah.
And when we went there, it was kind of a surprise because they are pretty chill. They just go home. And then I was I wasn't working in an office for the last years. And at the first year or first month, I was like, people were just leaving the office and going home. I was the last one to leave because we have that culture in Brazil, right? To be the last one
Should
to
do
leave.
an extra mile.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah,
Well, in
let's do
Brazil,
it.
the director stays until 8 o'clock. You need to stay until 8:30. Okay?
Yeah. And we need to arrive earlier in the next
Yeah.
day, right?
Pretty much.
So that is not this way. And
Vanderlei has a question.
good.
So can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay?
Yes. Hi,
Oh,
Vanderlei.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Thanks for joining and sharing. I apologize for being late. I'm having to, in fact, Bruce is the one that gave me this idea. I'm having to use my phone for audio and my computer for video. I'm experiencing technical difficulties with
You're
my
having
equipment.
fun. You're having fun.
Oh my God, a blast. I'm having a blast. So you guys were talking about the shortage with housing. I remember I read an article like 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago, and it was talking about ever since COVID, that there's been a worldwide shortage of supplies since COVID, and that they now do it different. They make enough just for orders, where in the past they used to have excess, they used to have extra stuff.
A stockpile.
So I think COVID has changed our world. It's changed Brazil, I've been told, because they started doing more automated like picks. They started accepting automatic payments. That's what I've been told. So I think our world's really changed. But I was also going to say, I'm a big American football fan. And I've seen that a lot of Australians, rugby players, have been getting professional positions as kickers and punters in American football. I like the Florida Gators, the University of Florida, and they're punters from Australia. You guys are from Australia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are Brazilians and you lived in Australia for 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, he's a rugby player, so he's evidently they call it rugby style punters. So he's found a way to have a career. It's just interesting.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where are you guys
Yeah,
living
they
now?
take it serious. No, sorry?
Yeah. Where are you guys living now? Where do you live?
We just came back to São Paulo right now. Like
Oh,
3
capital
weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks
3
ago.
weeks ago.
And where are you from in Australia?
Gold Coast.
The north south. If you
That's why he's
Brisbane.
wearing the yellow, because he has gold.
That's Vanderlei, that's the Australian jersey. So it looks like the Brazilian one, but they gave
Rugby?
that to me. Yeah.
Rugby or soccer or football?
Soccer, football. Yeah. What they call the Socceroos.
Ah,
The female they call Matildas, and the male football they call Socceroos.
How do you
Ah,
say
interesting.
Socceroos?
Like kangaroos, Socceroos, yeah.
Soccer with kangaroos.
Socceroos, yeah.
Socceroos. What's the main sport there in Australia?
That's the rugby, yeah. What they call
Rugby.
football. What they call football, actually.
It's a very strange game if you're an American and you watch it. It just it's very strange to watch.
It's different rules. It's totally different from the American Rugby League. Yeah. But they
Yeah.
love that. They got that on TV like 24/7. Like that's
Yeah,
all.
they love it. They see a lot.
Yeah,
They are very good in sports, actually, right?
they are. That's the thing, like they invest so much in sport in kids, like you see how they go like very serious about
Yeah.
anything they do in sports, like swimming pretty much, like they
Swimming.
go
Yeah, they have water a lot and
Yeah.
they train a lot.
any sport in the water, like they
They excel in.
yeah, they master that.
So where were you guys at?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So go
So
See
Brisbane
Brisbane?
here, we just down one seat.
the right
Oh,
side
Yeah.
on the coast. Yeah.
Gold Coast, that's
So
it.
below Brisbane, you can see
Yeah.
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast, that's it.
Gold Coast.
Yeah,
It's amazing. See that picture? It's
it's amazing.
it's amazing.
So you
What
are
about
really
the water? Is it warm or is it cold water?
it's a bit cold
comparing
with Brazil. comparing with
even
Brazil.
with São Paulo, it's hotter than but-
Gold Coast.
yeah,
But people don't care. Australians, they are swimming
in the
with
winter.
in the winter with their
Sharks.
bikinis, sometimes without a wetsuit, without anything. They just go and swim. We were like sometimes walking by the beach with our jackets and everything, and people are swimming. We get crazy. We cannot understand how they can swim with that cold weather
Yeah.
sometimes. Gold
Wow.
Coast is really sunny, however, it's cold in winter,
Yeah.
like 4 degrees in the morning.
Yee.
I got 4 degrees. Last year I was going to the gym very early in the morning. So 5:30, 6 a.m. I was leaving the house to go to the gym. It was like 4 a.m., 4 degrees
4 degrees.
during the winter. But yeah, during summer goes to 35 sometimes if you don't. Yeah.
Sydney even it's like Gold Coast is kind of a São Paulo weather alike.
Mhm.
In Sydney, that it's down south.
South.
Actually, it get like Rio, like it got 40 degrees, like Porto Alegre.
Wow.
It get very hot
Yeah, it's more like
during
Porto
summer.
Alegre
Yeah,
because it's like almost 40.
very hot.
I think Leandro wants to ask a question.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. The question that I made was about the main sport, you know. So no, it's rugby, right? It's rugby.
Rugby.
And rugby. And what about the football there? It's also famous. And I would say Brazilian football, not American. It's also famous there or not?
Soccer, yeah, sure. It became a thing right now. I think most because the women football. We had a chance to go. There was the last women World Cup was there,
Last year,
Mhm.
Australia, New Zealand. So we went to
Brisbane.
3 matches. I went to 3. We went
Yeah.
to see Brazil playing against France.
Oh,
We
cool.
lost.
Who won?
We lost 2-1.
No, France. 2-1 to France.
Who's we? Is it Australia or Brazil?
we had a lot of fun. We went to see Australia against Nigeria.
Yeah.
That was very like 3-2
Balanced.
something.
Yeah, very balanced.
But the Matildas, like they are crazy about the team. The Australians, they are crazy about Matildas.
They really support the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Futebol.
it's kind of it's very polite. It's family, families all around.
Going
It's,
to a stadium there is totally different from Brazil.
it's
Even
amazing.
if you are talking about different teams that they are not country,
You're talking about national teams or local teams?
yeah,
they are really familiar environment. You know, you take your kids, you take your wife, and then everybody goes. They have fun. They are really polite. They are
What do they
educated.
sell in the stadiums? What kind of food do they sell?
ooh, a lot of
But they-
junk food.
Yeah, burgers,
A lot.
Hot
fries,
dogs.
huh?
Hot dog,
Hot dogs,
all this
which
stuff.
is really bad comparing to Brazilian hot dog
Yeah.
because it's just just that sausage and bread. You know, the hot dog bread.
It's because
Nothing else,
it's
not
a
sauce, anything.
it's a different kind of sausage for us in Brazil. It's kind of a weird taste. It's like
Yeah, we don't like it.
it's strong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
Kangaroo meat, that's why.
Kangaroo meat.
Either that or crocodile meat.
Probably. Yeah, something weird.
Yeah,
So
that's what they
another-
have down in
another-
Florida. They have gator meat down there.
Another question for you guys about how was to drive there?
Oh,
Because-
the opposite side.
At the beginning,
Yeah, the opposite side, the left-hand traffic, right?
at the beginning was
So-
crazy.
Really?
Imagine you're going to a roundabout. So if you're here in Brazil, you're going to the right side and you're
Yeah.
going. So first one, I think I got on the right side. That was the wrong way. So you can get killed.
Oh my God, really?
I did first roundabout. I got on the wrong side. I was like, "Who?
Yeah.
Wrong way. Go back."
Yeah. It I think took 2 weeks for us to get used to drive
Yeah.
because even with the car, you try to
You
find
sit on the other side as well.
the gear box in the opposite side.
So you're gonna use the gearbox on your
on the
left hand.
hand, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
So and all the commands here, everything is the
Different.
lights and everything. So now you're having the opposite experience because we drove there for 8 years.
Yeah.
And now that we
Ah.
return, we
That-
got a car 2 weeks ago, and Vlad started driving straight away. Actually, you drove since the first day because
Yeah.
you rent a car just to come from the airport and everything. And then you bought our car. And to be honest, I am kind of shocking. So I drove twice only in Brazil since we returned because now my mind I got used to drive there. So the first day that we got the car, I tried to find the gearbox on the left side. I had to
Oh,
change it, and I was like,
Craziness.
it's not here, you know.
But
Yeah.
the funny thing is, we came to visit our family like 2 years ago, and I found myself drive on the wrong way of the street. And my son was like, "Hey, Dad, you know you're on the wrong side of the road." I'm like, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah. It's really dangerous, actually. Until your mind,
Yeah.
your brain
But-
get used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they asked some questions that we just missed. Type of work that we did. Kangaroo foods. Well, I can talk about food.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't like this.
Everything there is processed or not?
Most of things are, yeah. No, they have like a lot of junk food. Let's say this way, the same way that at work, they don't spend too much time in the office or at work. They also don't spend too much time cooking.
Cooking, yeah.
So every time they say, okay, I'll make the dinner or I'll do the dinner, they do like something half an hour. So they just put something on the microwave or something in the oven, or they call one pot meal, where they threw everything like the vegetables and the meats and everything in one pot, and that's it. For us as Brazilian, we are used to have moms that used to cook the meat and vegetables and rice and beans and farofa and salad and everything.
Yeah.
And you have kind of 5 different dishes on the table. So we
Yeah.
spend like 2-3 hours cooking.
But also they got a lot of what they do, they order food a lot instead to cook. Even if they don't go out, what they do, they go out to eat a lot. They go out
to have breakfast during the weekends.
even
a lot.
breakfast is
During
the
the
busiest
weekend?
time. Like
What's the breakfast? What do you eat for breakfast there?
oh, that's a good thing.
It's a big thing.
Yeah.
Right. So avocado on toast. It's something really common there with eggs,
scrambled eggs,
or
with bacon.
Crisp, and they have something that
bacon.
they call potato.
Hash brown.
Hash brown, which is something made with
it's
potato.
like a small cake of potato, like fried or bacon.
And they have beans in the morning.
Yeah, they do.
But canned beans.
Canned sweet beans.
Kind of sweet.
Like sweet.
They're delicious.
Yeah, so it's a big breakfast, but to be honest, I like the eggs and the
so they
only
when you ask about Australian food, they don't really have a typical Australian food because the main dish would be fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Which is not Australian, it's
British.
Yeah.
They have things as typical, but they bring this from everywhere. Like something that we think is typical, and then it's from New Zealand, or from England, or from different countries. They have nice sweets, though. They have really nice sweets and a specific chocolate called Tim Tam.
Tim Tam, yeah.
Tim Tam is kind of our bis here in Brazil, if you can compare.
That's large.
I would say much better. It's really nice. It's like 2 biscuits coated with chocolates and filled with chocolates as well. It's really nice. It's really good.
Did you bring some back for us to try?
Not this time. But last time we brought like
half of our suitcase.
We brought I think 30 of them.
Whole family. Everybody in the family got a pack of comes with 11. So everybody in the family got a pack. Not this time. We were struggling with the luggage this time because there was a limit, and you need to bring our life, because we're moving. So this time you couldn't bring presents to anybody, gifts, anything. We didn't. But the other times that we came, we always brought a lot of chocolate. They really don't have, and this is something that we struggle because before we return, we had lots of farewells over there because we create a family.
Farewells, like saying goodbye to many people.
Farewells,
Farewells. What happened is we have some, right? One in my office, another one in Vlad's job, another one with the church, another one with the worship team that we were part of. So we had lots of meetings.
And the last one with the
everybody gives you something to take with you.
Sorry?
Everybody gives you something to bring with you.
They knew that we couldn't get gifts or anything.
They gave us some gift cards, which was very helpful.
Which was really helpful to our return. But the point is, when we are doing in the office, the last day, they really dedicate time to do this. So you are leaving the company. They don't just say goodbye to you, and they do like a party, and they really celebrate your life, your time spent there. It was really kind of them, really nice. But the thing is, I knew the dates and everything, but the girl started sending me text message and asking about my favorite color, and then she asked my favorite songs for them to play while we were doing the party. But then they asked about the 10 favorite dishes in Australia. And to be honest, I was trying not to be rude with her because I really didn't like any. I couldn't say, I don't like the barbecue. I don't like the meats that they do because they are sweet. So I tried to tell her that it's not really the best thing in Australia for me. I love Australia in many ways, really many ways. I don't want to leave. but the food really is not the thing that you like the most.
But the thing is, we got a lot of international food as well. So you have all the communities, like all the
Japanese,
Chinese,
yeah,
Vietnamese,
very nice food.
well,
Styles,
a lot
yeah.
of styles, yeah.
Italian a lot, Mexican
Yeah.
a lot, Malay, which is good, spicy but good.
Spice.
Yeah.
Korean food a lot, yeah.
Korean is nice.
Go.
Yeah. But just to, I don't know for how long it's gonna keep
We're
going.
gonna wrap it up here.
All right, just to give a general idea about Australia. So it is like Brazil as well. So you have like different accent. Like if you're from the south to the north, you got some guys from the north that they call bogan, like a very, how could say that, like it's strong accent, like it's hard to understand what they're saying. Even Australians don't understand them sometimes.
I would say it's like when you see someone from the north of Brazil that we call sertanejo, let's say, from Brazil, and we struggle to understand, even they speaking in Portuguese, we struggle to understand. Huh?
Yeah.
Caipira.
That's it.
Kind of caipira, yeah. And you struggle to understand. So the bogans are those kind of people.
So our experience was more on the north side, not on the far north, which would be those.
It's south north. It's
south north, yeah, southeast,
they call
yeah.
southeast.
But we got friends in Sydney and Melbourne and Tasmania, so we have been on those places as well, and we feel like it's kind of those difference we find here in Brazil. We see there as well. From the songs they sing, from the food they eat, from the way they talk. So that's
different. And it was hard for us at the beginning to learn English, because we learn English in the school and it's kind of a clear English, right? When you go to the street, we hear all kind of accents, and then you gotta, okay, this person pronunciates this way and that person pronunciates that way. Which one is the correct one? So it's really confusing when you go
real life.
Yeah, when you are out of school at the beginning, because you learn in a way, and then in the streets are different.
Yeah. I can imagine. Well, listen, guys, really appreciate you guys coming out and talking to us about Australia. I haven't talked to a lot of people from Australia, so it was nice to hear your perspective. And of course, you have a good reference because you are from Brazil, so you can tell us, some big differences between Brazil and between Australia.
Yeah, we can compare.
Yes.
Yeah. But seriously, it's a nice country. It's beautiful. It's amazing. The nature is everywhere, and where we were living was really close to the beach, like 12 minutes by car, but half an hour to the hinterland, you go to the mountains. It's kind of Campos do Jordão. Like, let's say, so half an hour you are in a very nice place, different perspective, different style. So it's really interesting, and people are nice, and they are really chill, and
Australian people are very, very nice people.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Leandro, Vanderlei, for coming too.
Thank you guys.
And I'll be getting this video available later today or tomorrow, and I'll send it to you guys.
Oh, good. Thank you so much for having us.
Our pleasure.
Guys,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
See ya.